Secure the oxygen mask by placing the elastic band around your head. Then help children and other passengers in need. Continue breathing normally. The safety on board card is in your seat pocket. It contains useful safety information, so please read it carefully. If you have any further questions, please contact a member of the cabin crew. Thank you for your attention.
Travelling has been an influential part of my life since I was a child. I was born in Hanover, where my parents worked as teachers for the British military. And my schooling was in English. The friendships, the cinema, the radio, first football, were all experienced within the compounds of a 3,000-person inhabited British island. My parents used the opportunity of living in this environment to explore Europe with our caravan. And all these regular trips as a child opened to me an interest in other lands, developed into a conscious desire to travel. And it was the fascination with landscapes mainly. What the world looks like over the next hill and down the next road. What will it be different in 100 kilometers from here? And with age, these impressions developed into a more in-depth need for understanding of where one travels and then why one travels. The people and the human culture became just as important as the landscapes. And I try to use photography to clarify my questions that I have regarding this subject of home. I'm a fan of abandonment. I think abandonment is an interesting topic. Ruined buildings and the markings of people, what so signs of life that once was but is no more, so to speak. This picture came from just the time I spent there in Novi Villanov, and this was actually a big junction. This was one of the main roads that ran through the whole district. Apart from the guys who were working on the construction and on the building site themselves, it was very hard to come across people. So the chance that a guy came along on his bicycle, it was a good element to break the picture a little bit. And so I walked into this whole area of Novi Villanov and just realized that for me it was just incredibly surreal. And it was from this whole idea of picture books from new cities from the Soviet. And then it was just different thoughts came into mind. Something to compare with in today's modern Europe, 2009. That this kind of a new city program is still in a theme, these places are still being built. And I had luckily with me this Polaroid chocolate film. Just gave me the opportunity to create the picture books that I had seen of these new cities from the original 50s in Russia. In the summer 2006, I took a trip to Russia, to Siberia. It was eye-opening in a way, and in a way that was very unexpected. It was a complete culture shock. I mean, Russia is not the nostalgic, romantic country of the writers that it once upon a time maybe was. And I think most of these pictures, it's an element of lostness and loneliness that comes out of it, but I think that's at the end of the day how I ended up feeling being in Russia, in such a massive country, and being closer to Peking than to Moscow or whatever other European land, basically, city. Well, the one aspect that is with all the pictures is this is a certain atmosphere regarding space. This was actually a nice picture. It was when we were traveling on the island of Okhlo. We were just sitting in the back of a small kind of bus bumping down the roads, and it was taken from the back of the bus. I saw this bike coming and I just turned around. I had a small compact Leica. The theme of abandonment is similar. I think that's one thing that unifies societies. You know, the many situations where people have lived in one place and they get up and go. It's the same whichever country you're in. I think in a lot of situations it's an economic matter. And it's a theme that interests me and which I've covered and seen, and also from China as well, shooting in Shanghai. But that was an incredible situation. The city was crazy. It was really just renewing itself in such a day-to-day routine, consequently knocking down the old town houses. And then, you know, the skyscrapers would really just pop up, basically, almost as if overnight. And this was both from Africa, South Africa, or Namibia even. Again using with this one again using the negative of a positive Polaroid. And this one here was shot on Polaroid 665. And this was the positive, which I then scanned and completely playing around with contrast, and these colors came out. But the effect is nice. It's after the brushing the special paste to protect the positive. Nomadic photographer would be a good way to describe it, but I think the nomadic element comes from two areas. It comes out of an interest to see other places, but it also comes out of an interest maybe in a search, basically, for something that I feel very unsatisfied when living in one place. When I was shooting the series Presence, it was a shot on Polaroid film, 669 positive Polaroid, giving such a positive image, color. This one was from England. There's this poodle walking across the beach. But then instead of using this image, I was using the backside, the chemical imprint of the positive image. So one would have it like this, and after shooting, peeling the Polaroid. And this side interested me more than the original color polar positive. And then with these images, I scanned them in at a high resolution. And I wanted, with that series, I wanted to get the broken effect that comes from this dried out chemical image when it is enlarged. It's cracks and it's agedness, basically. I wanted to work with this nostalgia that came out of that effect. Okay, so this picture is from the series Presence. That was the largest that I, to date, have made them. And one of the main reasons for making it so large was really as to work with the structure. On purpose, I didn't clean them too much. It was really about effect of memory. Searching locations in this present world that sort of give one the feeling of one has been there before, though one may not have ever been there before, and a little bit trying to answer questions towards saudade. Searching for something that cannot be defined.